Okay, welcome to episode 66 of my 248k run on a ribbon world with a bunch of spiders, and we found another shoreline, which is pretty exciting. Pushed over here kind of towards the end of the last episode. Nice, like, peaceful stroll over here. Nothing really happened that much. Yeah, some tech kicked over in the meantime. I think I like checked where I was with the Star Engine research progress, because Star Engine is this kind of huge thing that's taking quite a lot of effort, and that's fine. And I think it was at like 25% at the beginning of last episode and 38% at the end of the last episode, and now we've got up to 45%. So we've got a while to keep going through Star Engine stuff. Let's start wandering back. Uh, yeah, and yeah, it was pretty peaceful. I don't know, like all of this stuff is kind of mystifying. I don't, I was a good person. I didn't do anything disrespectful towards an entire continent of insects that probably had their own language and subculture and dialect and art and dance and stuff like that. That's all kind of fine. This was like this when I got here. I'm sure it was. Let's look at other things that are happening in the base while we're doing that. Yeah, it kind of feels like we are starting the next section. Actually, let's zoom all the way out and see how big the ribbon is now. Because we started, is this here? Yeah, this spot here is my first nuclear reactor with thorium, and then previously we were this far, and this is where the other two uranium-powered nuclear reactors are on this bit of the lake here. And I think at the end of the last episode we had explored like about this far because the mall is here, and since then we've got kind of all the way out here, and all of this is just ours now. There's like not a whole lot of resources. I was kind of especially getting this far away from the spawn, I was kind of expecting there to be like the patch richness is good, but I was expecting there to be larger patches. I was kind of expecting there to be situations where like several of the links along the length of this new grid, which covers the entire ribbon. Yeah, it goes all the way down to the bottom of the ribbon, which I'm pretty happy about. The other one didn't. I was kind of expecting large sections of this to be blocked, but also whatever. So this is the new grid, which we're going to use going further out east and west. We're going to keep everywhere there's already small grid. We're going to keep all of the small grid, everything, and I think also most of the builds we're going to continue attempt to do, like all the major builds, like there's beacon stuff, sciences, things like that. We're going to try and fit everything in this kind of small, annoying build if we can. LDS is actually one of the things we're kind of low on at the moment because plastic, but it's, kind of going. But things like, I think red chips is a good candidate of stuff that we could just put, like, big red chips over here, because they take quite a lot of space, they take quite a lot of different materials, and they also fit really good on trains. When we get back to it, is this me? No, I'm all the way back here. Okay, it was the build spider. The build spider was already like closer to that. Okay, sure. So yeah, so we push this out a bit further. The build spider has like done some of this. Does the build spider still have? It does still. Oh, it doesn't have big power poles. Okay, so we ran out of big power poles. Oh well. Yeah. So this new grid we're going to use for a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we just need to like work on building that out as well, but there's no particular plans to do anything with that at this point. I reckon everyone just heads back here because this is where... Is that true? Actually, that's not quite true. Build Spider probably wants to go... How big is this thing? Like, yeah, let's have the Build Spider hang out like over here. Because, yeah, things we've got to do. I mentioned that LDS was a bit of an issue, and there's some cheeky things we can do about that. LDS is kind of an issue because plastic. Which one of these is the plastic build? This one over. That's not the plastic build. Is it? These are rocket fuel builds. Okay, so one of the things we were going to do to make LDS get more gas is if we upgrade all of the modules in the rocket fuel build, then we will get better rocket fuel efficiency per unit of light oil, which means we won't use as much light oil, which means we will have more light oil to crack into gas. So that's cool. These guys have already got a bunch of speed, so we could like not worry about losing that building speed and getting productivity bonuses instead. Somewhere there's another rocket fuel build. Is it this one? Yeah, this one, which is already also full. So yeah, cool. That's going to be a thing we do. Just yeah, slap all of those guys again. Then plastic was also. Is this plastic? This is not plastic. There should be a plastic over here by these red chips. Yeah, plastic is another thing that's not getting a whole lot of productivity uplift yet. So if we I might need that again. Yeah, so there's a couple of other plastic builds around the place. Oh, there's one over here, isn't there? This thing over here is a plastic build, and is a bit sad, because it doesn't have any gas, and we kind of need to work on that. And then there's another plastic build somewhere in here. Yeah, this one, because this, yeah, I recognize, I was looking for this thing, because it's the weird thing that puts natural fiber reinforced plastic into the Logigrid, and these are also could be on better productivity modules. So this will get us more stuff out with respect to the gas we put in, which is going to be one of the things we care about because we're kind of low on plastic. And I think, oh yeah, I think this might be the last train that's a normal train. So we're probably going to ignore that for a while. We are at the build train. Actually, I probably still want to stay in that spider because it's just faster and I'm not. But yeah, other things we can do to make the light oil supply better, not light oil supply, the gas supply better, is this station over here currently not producing any gas, even though there is a mechanism for producing gas from this train fuel station. The problem is, we're like full on train fuel, which is, you know, that's a good problem to have. We've got a lot of train fuel sitting around. What we're going to do about that, in a kind of cheeky way, especially as we're looking at turning on a new grid, is finding a rail station that requests train fuel. This is a train fuel request, yeah. And figuring out where some of those can go. Actually, I think is there one train station names. So the start of the grid is this. Yeah, the start of the inner east grid, I guess, don't really have particularly good names. So there's an oil depot here, and then there's no fuel. So Logibots, if they were doing anything in this grid, will be flying all the way back to this fuel station to fuel any trains, even all the way over here. So I reckon we worry about not having radar coverage. In fact, we can probably, yeah, we can probably drop it in here, right? We need to actually get some of these out of the way, but I don't remember which ones. Yeah, that's going to be where it needs to go. Because it anchors by this pole, and then so we'll have a train fuel station here. We'll get some train fuel kind of on this section of the grid. I kind of want one here as well, but I guess we do that on the way. The other thing I was thinking about, and the reason why this build spider's over here, is we can also figure out in here where one of these can go. I think we're gonna have to do something slightly differently. This turns that way. Okay, so if we have one of these things here, and we have a train fuel station here, kind of wherever, I suspect this section of rail doesn't actually, it doesn't have logistic spots yet, so that's also, you know, whatever other things we will worry about in a bit. Here and then there, and then rail signal here, and we will have another train station, which when we get this east grid, this big east grid rail, we'll also just be able to request train fuel, which will, free up. I think this build spider's going to have to continue going this way, isn't it? We'll free up train fuel storage in a manner that means we get to produce more gas. And then the other, actually, I wasn't going to be on this at all. I was going to, actually, let's, yeah, this is, I was exploring. It was me being responsible is what that was. Some of these. I guess one PDL, sure. Oh, this is the train I wanted over here. Is there anything in here we want to leave? Whatever. Okay. Let's take this train back to the build, and also wait here. Yeah, sure. Okay. Is that true? That's actually not true. I wanted to take this train to say here, because I also wanted to drop in another train fuel station over there. And then I kind of wanted to walk all the other spiders to the other side of the map, just to deal with stuff over there if we needed to as well. So I guess we do that at the same time. Let's take all these map elements. Oh wait, can they're going to get stuck on... Yeah, they're going to get stuck on this stuff, aren't they? So they can go over there, and then the build spider will just be doing build spider things. I still have this in the paste buffer, which is nice, and then yeah, that overlaps with this thing. Okay, so now we can go back to the build. So this will give us, yeah, a couple more train stations where we are requesting train fuel. There's one there, there's one... Oh no, I actually wanted to have... Yeah, I wanted to have another one over here or something, didn't I? We could just have several train stations. Yep, okay. And then we can throw... Where is it? Yeah, this is less easy to see with... It should be there, shouldn't it? Yeah, two of those power poles overlap. The train is on the inside of the signal. I think that works. So now we've got a couple of other places, and we can ride this back to the... We can ride this train back to the build. That will collect train fuel so that other petrochems node can just keep running. Oh, copper. Copper was another thing that LDS needs, which we've been short on at some point. And there's actually, like, copper right here, so I reckon we look at just grabbing this. Some of this can go away, some of this can go away. These, yeah, okay, so I think all of those things are going to need to go away. There's space just down here, and I still have, yeah, this smelting blueprint, which needs to be up this way, and fits exactly here. And... yeah, so one of the things about having a new grid is that we're going to have to redesign a lot of those things, but that's also, you know, kind of the point. That's just gameplay. Yeah, then I guess we line it up. Oh no, are we... Yeah, no, to go back to this one. Thanks. Yeah. Saw me moving on the map, really didn't want to. Yeah, we'll see if we can get some of the stuff... is that, I mean, it's gonna mine everything. I don't really, like... Okay, so some of those are really bad. Like, some of these are kind of terrible. Some of those are, you know, whatever. Not really concerned. The point is, nope, copy, so it gets the modules, because modules are a thing we're doing. Yeah. So we'll get some more copper in here as well, because I suspect that once we get the LDS enough plastic, we will then run back into the situation of needing more iron. Well, more iron, more copper. Yeah, with all of this goes the issue that we kind of need more power. So to deal with that, you take 6 of those over to the west grid, because the other thing we've got kind of just sitting around all the way over here. I should have given you roboports as well, because there's a couple of roboport ghosts in here. Never mind. Yeah, and we could just drop these other stellarators in, because the power grid is, yeah, now that we're moduling things, like even harder, those things are kind of, yeah, they're kind of struggling as well. We also need that train to come back, because we need a lot of rail. Wait, rail. The other thing I was thinking about rail is currently all getting made What are you needing? Are you complaining about... Oh, you're not complaining about not having prod mod 3s. Cool, because that means as soon as I'm building them, they're going into builds. Purple science, somewhere over here, is where I am putting rail into the logistic network, which I mean, that's coming a long way to do all the build train stuff over here. So I think instead of that, we wander over here and find, yeah, just rail, just like next to the nuclear weapons. Those are normal things, aren't they? Yeah, those are all normal amounts of stuff, and we can have quite large sets of things because rail, and then I've got actually a pile of this stuff. You can go in there. Yeah, sure. Yeah, a lot of the nuclear processors are broke at the moment as well, aren't they? Never mind. Power grid is not online yet. Are you still getting the bots working on? Okay, yes, they're not flashing anymore. The bots are just working on getting the stuff over there. Oh well. Okay. Other things that were kind of on my list of stuff to do is at some point I put some gold and stuff like that down. Yeah, over here. I reckon we're going to need a lot more of the stuff later, and kind of the plan was always to be able to grab some chunk of this and throw it in here, and all of that, like, just... Okay, it doesn't quite just work, because these things... but we can smash that in there, and this will take us up to... This will double... Actually, let's have, yeah, have that one there, and then this one... like so, and that will... Yeah, if we connect these things in, we'll basically just double the rich water metals that we use. This one also needs to come down here. Okay, let's see if we can do that a little better. Yeah, we can, cool. And that strikes me as a good thing. So let's do this in the other places as well. Yeah, if I copy all of these pipes and stuff first, then I should be able to find, yeah, like here's one of them. And so we copy that for the pipes. Balls. That just made neodymium. Okay, now I need to, yeah, I need to copy one of those but not the other. Because we just put a bunch of stuff on the ground. Sure, that was the neodymium one. The plan was to use that copy-paste to get all the pipes without, and then do the copy-paste for the... Yeah, now it's going to put a bunch of other stuff on the ground. Oh well. Okay, so can we do that again, but not badly, and grab... If I get just the top half of this will be fine, won't it? Because we can put that there, and then we can grab this whole thing that we had before, and that will put the new recipe in. Okay, and then this thing here runs there, and this one runs here, and we will go up to... is this... I missed this section of a thing here, which is kind of important. Okay, let's go and check that actually connected on the other one as well. Otherwise we would not really have increased our capacity. We would have... Where's the thing? I was down here. Bots have already done it because they're fast. Okay, sure. Yeah, this one got the... Yeah, this one got the slag output on both sides, so that's nice. That's a spot that actually connects, which is good. Water 0, yeah, because it's just getting voided. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there's another one of these around somewhere for the other kind of rich water. Is it this one? Yeah, so let's try and do that better over here. We do that. Did this pump get powered? Is it this one? That's the plastic. It's over here. This pump did not get powered, so let's actually also do that as well. And yeah, these guys are waiting on modules. These guys have got... Yeah, these construction bots are pretty fast. And then somewhere over here, we want to take this entire thing, like that much of it, and overlay it there. And then also make sure that we get this kind of output thing. And then, yeah, so this is kind of just future-proofing in some sense, because we're not even fully utilizing this yet. But I think we will soon. Is at least the plan. And then this slag belt connected? Yes, fine, okay. And then yeah, that's going to annoy me. I think we just get a... Yeah, this has got an item on ground deconstructor, so we're just going to put all that stuff in storage, which also feels bad. But I think actually... I think we do a thing where we just... Because I don't have anything else to do with any of these ores. So I think we just build request chests for each of these. Titanium? Yeah. So requesting titanium, requesting neodymium, requesting gold. Are these things signal conditioned or not? How have I set this up? Oh, these are just going to be box limited, aren't they? These are just going to be limited because we actually haven't... There's no circuit condition on any of these things, so this is just like there's a limit on this box into which this thing cannot insert. Okay, so I think then we just go... Okay, and then we're going to copy this thing and find somewhere that processes gold, which is... The gold one is on the bottom, isn't it? It's down... This one is gold? Yeah, this looks like gold. So if we slap this here... then we're going to have another way of putting gold in this machine, even though, I mean, we're going to have a couple of stack inserters contesting it, but never mind. This is, which one is this? Neodymium? Yeah, this is not what I planned on doing today. Oh, well, is this neodymium? No, it's titanium, so is neodymium the one that's a little further over? How far are we going? Is this one neodymium? This one is in fact neodymium. Okay, so paste this here, I guess, and have this like so, and then there should be one more. Copy this, which is the titanium one, and then we don't actually want any of these, so all of those are going to go back into storage, and then bots are going to take them over to the next build. When I find the next build, it's not that one, is it this one? Titanium is the one we haven't done, isn't it? That's the neodymium. Titanium was kind of this way of that. Over here? Yeah, titanium. Here... Okay, so we've got some recycling systems for various kinds of pure ore, which is cool. Why? Oh, I guess because we haven't built power poles. Okay. Other things we need to do are... Where is this train? Yeah, we need to get a lot more rail in here. Do these guys have... Oh, they nearly have all the structured matter we need, so we can nearly make the tier 3 beacon cores. That's not really a thing we want to worry about yet. Because, yeah, we want to take a bunch of stuff over to the... I'll just keep having all this as long as you guys are going to give it to me. Where is... Yeah, I guess you can have most of these grenades. I don't think I'm going to be doing a whole lot with them. Oh, wait. Spiders. We were going to... All these spiders got to the kind of bottleneck? Yeah, other than the built spider, which is in a decent place. Yeah, so we've got this multitasking thing going on again. This build spider doesn't have anything that it needs, which is a bit of a shame, but I guess you just go further? Yeah, and then, oh that's right, because the other spiders, I wanted to wander... They're going to take a while to do it, but they can all wander down here, and we can catch up with them at some later point. There should be a... Yeah, there's a train here now. Because we want to take all of this. And then what else did you need to the right-hand side? rail signals? Is that what you're complaining about? Yeah, it is regular rail signals. Are bots complaining about... Bots are not complaining about signals or anything like that. Okay. Rail signals. If I was a rail signal, I'd be in this box. I would not be in this box. I've like old beacon stuff is in that box. This box. Yeah, we're going to need a bunch of these. We'll have some of these. Advanced roboport charging stations, all of those going to be useful things. Actually, a couple more of these poles. This is no longer going to fit in this train, is it? Yeah, and then a stack of roboports, and you go to the very large east grid. Okay, what else? There were a bunch of things we were working on. The rocket fuel all got beaconed better, yeah, and all of these things. Okay, so we're building up solid fuel now. That's pretty good. Yeah, that was the other thing we were going to do. Actually, can I use the larger beacons for this now? K3 beacons. K3 beacons. These beacons would hit more items, and would mean that... Okay, so we're going to have to take a bunch of these things out. But I want to see if we can get some tier 3 beacons in here. Okay, no. Actually, no, yeah, let's get these ones out as well, because we can do some underground tricks. Get all of these things out the way. That's... Actually, the ones on the outside could have stayed. Some of the outside ones could have stayed. Because we want this to be... I guess there, yeah, and then... yeah, we're going to need power poles in here and then like over there or something like that, which is a little ugly, but it's going to work. And then over here, we're going to need, yeah, things I don't have on my hotbar anymore because I didn't really think I need them. But if we do... We had 2 on this side, didn't we? We move these over to the other side, then we can also fit beacons in here and boost a ton of stuff. Which, yeah, so these are the K3 beacons. They are currently doing nothing different than the K2 beacons will be doing, other than costing us more power grid, because... Wait, do I have... Yeah, we've got space for another 4 of these, yeah. Because... Wait, I don't need to move the power poles. We can just go over here. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Currently, just giving us no real extra bonus because we don't have a K3 core, but we still have the K1 and 2 cores. But also, this is boosting more buildings, so that's kind of nice. And we're over halfway with the Star Engine. Okay. What was... Yeah, it was train fuel stuff. The build spider was a little further over to drop more blueprints. What are we complaining about? So that exists. Bots are complaining about not having... Oh yeah, we need a lot more prod mods. I guess... Interesting. Whatever. We're just gonna deal with that. Yeah. So... The other thing that I wanted to do today, in between kind of managing building all this stuff in all these 4 different places, I see what the issue we were going to have is. Because we had some large number of... Here's the module upgrade place? Okay, we're still going. Okay. I was thinking that because we were low on plastic, and also because we're low on LDS, and this is also using kind of both of those, that I was expecting this to be hit for red chips, and it's kind of not. It's kind of just hit for construction speed, which is fine. But we also need to get... Yeah, so one of the things... Yeah, next thing I wanted to work on. So there's this kind of weird thing that this train fuel over here, now that this is running again, is going to be contributing gas and also light oil to the rest of the system, which is pretty cool. There's also a weird thing that blue science does, which is over here, which is in kind of the last of the speedrunner stuff. We're going to try and put this on the grid for a number of reasons. First of all, there are 5 tier 2 and 14 tier 1 beacons in there, so I'm using 20 beacons and not getting a whole lot of value from that. Second of all, this sulfur line here comes from these refineries, and if I'm not running the sulfur, all of that gas ends up over here in the network, just to be used as gas, which is kind of important because that's a big deal. And then also this plastic is just being used for these red chips, which is also kind of doing this original blue science thing. So if we're not, what are these? These aren't even on. These are still just on 16% as well, so we're not even getting great value from these. And then these plastics are on 4%. So yeah, so by moving the blue science to a grid, we will mean that all of the sulfur and plastic instead is just used as gas over here. But also, the place where we would get sulfur from is this station here, which just has the sulfur, and this station would also be providing gas, except that it's not, because it's backed up on the sulfur that we would want to use, which is how it's supposed to work. Like, this is supposed to be a station that produces sulfur, produces explosives. We might not need all that many explosives anymore if we're kind of happy with where our borders are. What are we complaining about not having? Bit of rail, lots of cliff explosives. I guess the cliff explosives also need to go out to this side. So I think that's going to be the next thing to do, is to figure out, and also because we've already got all of the inputs for the blue science just on the grid. Somewhere over here, that's not where it is. So I can replace these as well, because these are hitting some number. Let's get distracted again and have, like, where's a better place for these beacons? Like here? Because these beacons are 4x4 and they're kind of weird. This is, yeah. I had 6 on each side previously, didn't I? So this is going to be the same beacon counts. The disadvantages, like this previous plan was so we could have 2 beacons in here, and the beacons with their long range could stretch over to the other labs, but we didn't quite have the science for that. This should hopefully... okay, I've got one too many. How did I thought it was on even numbers of beacons. I think I'd rather have these ones and then find one from the rocket fuel. Was rocket fuel... oh yeah, because there wasn't... this one here is one that wasn't previously there. It was like 3 in the middle and 2 on either side. Okay, so that should hopefully get us back to 250 beacons, so full beacon utilization. And then these guys are still waiting. Yeah, those guys are still waiting for the prod mods. Oh well. Did we take everything that this grid over here needs? No, this grid is still complaining about rail, and has... is it complaining about rail? It might just be complaining about just needing bots to get everything done, which I'm fine with. Okay, I probably needed... yeah, so I've got a fuel station there. Let's bring the build spider back here. Actually, yeah, let's do this in 2 stages. Let's bring the build spider there. And then we can copy that station, move the build spider down here, paste that station there. All of this is... yeah, still just a little bit unfortunate, because this big grid is, you know, even bigger, and we're going to try and run this entire section as one continuous grid, I think. I mean, that is a lot of ribbon to be one grid, isn't it? Never mind. Moving on. Okay, let's attempt to... I've got a lot of train fuel as well. Train fuel that I don't need. Let's attempt... And I forgot... Yeah, I'll have some construction bots, sure. Okay. Let's go and build some blue science somewhere. Because we've got blue science kind of ready to go. Kind of. I guess where can we... We kind of want it in... How much space do we need? We're going to need a bit, aren't we? I could actually move it to the... Like, I'm pretty happy having blue science, like, just in these four, or something like that. Because it is a thing that moves kind of slowly. Do I have trains? Okay, so let's go over there and build... I guess we... Do we need to take stuff, then? Okay, let's take some stuff. Let's actually clear the requests for all the yellow stuff, because we're not going to be needing yellow stuff anymore, because we can't build with yellow stuff, because the side bits of grid don't have yellow stuff, so we'll skip that. Oh wait, is power grid... Power grid is now at 12 gigawatts, which means all these guys are built, yeah, and these guys are nice and running. Okay, so that's cool. That means that another thing that on this like largely parallelized list of things we can do is we just, yeah, I think we're just getting rid of this. So this power goes around the outside, good, which means that we can just get rid of all of... Let's start by just getting rid of all of these things. And then... Like, I don't actually think... Like, we'll run... Are we going to run the heat out of these pipes? We're not, are we? Are we... We're... Okay, we are sometimes... Sometimes we don't have enough fusion power, so we're occasionally using some of this. Okay, so we'll clip these guys out. All of that will just get recycled. This steam will just do, you know, whatever. We'll run all of this down. We get some value for that from that. The thorium one also wants to disappear, but some of these are going to be interesting because we do have to put, like the other. I guess the other part of this plan is this blue science will disappear. At some point we have to put red and green science on a grid as well, and then all of this, including this, including this, including this, can all just disappear. And at that point, I think we also get rid of this thorium reactor, even though it's doing it, because it's also providing steam to the rail network and also providing steam to the build that isn't running but will once we start taking sulfur. And all of this steam we can do just with stellarators with far fewer fluid elements, because we might be approaching a point where UPS is a thing that I start to worry about. Not because the base is big, but because I'm also, again, encoding video to disk at 1080p. I'm also not opposed to just removing both biters and pollution from this run from the console, having figured out that they're pretty much a solved problem at the moment. That was not the key I wanted. This is the key I wanted. Okay, so those are all things we can deal with when we get to it, though. Did we have this build spider? Yeah, we want... So this is good, yeah. This grid is now also big enough to not be putting stations on the grid, so we can just transport things better. But the other issue is that... Yeah, so that's doing what it needs to. Let's calm down about this far and put that there as well. But yeah, the other issue is, yeah, we don't have logistics bots here at the moment. We don't even have many construction robots, but we also don't have anything to build there. So, oh well. These all stop blinking, which means bots got everything done. Oh well. Then I also needed, yeah, so I need to bring the furnaces over to this grid. These guys somehow, inexplicably, didn't get powered, so let's just quickly do... We'll hack some of that in a bunch of places. This is going to give us more copper. We need to get that copper into several places. There's some inputs over here, some inputs over here. This is in the same grid that we're about to build the blue science, though, so I don't think we bother with that yet. I think we just look at... Yeah, in theory, this blue science build will be pretty straightforward, right? Because... Oh wait, it's not, because we want to use fancy new beacons, but these new beacons are huge. These new beacons are big enough. Are these new beacons big enough to do double long-handed? These new beacons are big enough to do double long-handed and still hit multiple buildings. Wild. 4 things in, 1 thing out. Do I want to do it like that at all? I think these are going to be interesting. These big beacons are going to be interesting for direct insert things, because this now means that I can have, like if I was doing a coils into green chips thing, this beacon is now big enough to hit the assembler behind that's doing the direct inserting. So this gives us a bunch of new interesting patterns. Do I want to do this way? I don't think I do. I think I want to do this. And then let's also fast insert these, because we are going to be like cranking this to the extent that we can. Is that not there, but there? And then the thing I don't really know is... Yeah, how many of these things I need. But I think this is going to be the blue science plan, because it can be pretty straightforward, because that's all we... And could I do... How many... Yeah, so the thing is I kind of want to get... Yeah, I don't think we're going to quite be able to run... We could stack this... we can't actually stack this a whole lot closer. I was wondering if we could do this with undergrounds through the middle, but if we do outputs, say, here and here, and squeeze this beacon in even further... I guess we could still have... We could still do that. And then do this kind of thing, but this is now... Do I like that more? It's a little more compact. Because I was thinking about having these even closer. Actually, even if it was closer, these would still be on different belts. I would have to long-handed insert one of these things, and it would be kind of weird and off. So I think we're pretty good with that pattern. I kind of want... I did some math about this. What was the total weight that I wanted? I wanted like a total of 44. But things of it, yeah, okay, so let's then... If I do this, can we fit... And we've got station space over here. The answer to that is yes. Cool, okay. So, things we want to do include, first of all, check how much blue science we've got sitting over here. And it is a large amount, which is cool, because that means we can come back over here and clip out some of these bad little beacons that aren't getting much done, that buy us the beacon headroom we want to be able to build this thing properly. But I still don't know how much of this I want. That's also a little off-center, isn't it? So I'm tempted to do all this again. And I was also wondering why this is so slow, and like where all my bots are, and then realized that the mall is all the way over here. All the bots are coming all the way back over here. Oh, and these are also slow bots. That's a good reason. Yeah, that's why bots are doing that stuff. Fine, whatever. Okay. Do I have a train station? I do. So if we're going to just put this train station here, and what would we call that? This train station, it's going to be Science Collection. It's not Science Collection Everything. It's... Did I actually have it? Did I name... Did these ones actually get real names? Do I have a train station named Purple Science? I do, okay. So this is just going to be straight up... It's going to be Blue Science. And yeah. And then... Oh, the other thing that I need to do is figure out which carriage we're looking at for the Blue Science. And it is the 4th carriage. Okay. So, all of locomotive 1, 2, 3, 4 here is where we want to be loading stuff. Okay, that is pretty straightforward. I don't even think we limit that. These, I all did want to go the other way, didn't I? Yes. Does that correctly reset all their directions? It does. Good times. Okay. So if this is... Oh wait, I've got these ones as well. Wait, all of these wanted their directions reversed. Because... all of these belts look like they're coming in from over here. So I think we gotta... Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Okay, red belt is probably more than they need. I hope red belt is more than they need. Because I'm not planning on building that much blue science yet. I mean, to be fair, this was going to be a thing that I was going to build and then extend later, and it looks like I've just built the entire thing now. Do I need to... Yeah, no, I don't need to turn on more accelerators. But I think... Without really thinking about... I mean, maybe also I should think about how much of these things I have and need, and then how we're going to spaghetti all that stuff in. But we need... Actually, good question. Is this... Am I going to need more than half a red... I am actually going to need more than... 1 lane of red circuits for that, aren't I? Because the recipe is 3 red circuits, ancient mysterious crystals, kind of fine. Yeah. This can run here, this can run here, and that's all fine. How many did we take 10 beacons out? We did take more than 10 beacons out, so that's kind of fine. And then we need to figure out how to plug all of these inputs in, and then also whether or not this half, like one of these half of the builds, shuffles over so we can get more stuff in here, and I think it does. I think we say sorry bots again, but that's kind of what they're for, and we leave that all over by 1. And then this also runs here. Then we can have... Yeah, then we've got some inputs we get to do. Bots are complaining about not having a pile of stuff. Cool. And then we also need to get rid of this stuff and get... I should have... A thing I still don't have is... That's a bad example because it's got other stuff in the middle of it as well. I still don't have anything kind of like this as a rail pattern that I can just drop in somewhere for the stations. Because we kind of want a bunch of stations. But we don't want to worry about these yet, and also they're not going to be fluid things, and we need crystals, we need red chips. All of this is going to have to... Yeah, all of the spaghetti might happen in between, depending on whether or not I find it interesting. I suspect it's not. We also don't need all of that on both sides. And then we will need all of this again on this train station. And then we're going to need all of that again here as well. Because we have 4 ingredients, and so there's going to be a bit of spaghetti to get everything through here. This is going to be, Yeah, this is a different train station, but yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of things turn up here. We want... I wonder how much of this we could do with copy-paste. Probably most of it. Like, we want to come back to... we don't need... Actually, crystals is the thing we need. So this one over here can be crystals. Oh, except this now wants to be checking crystals. This was not particularly well done. Did I at least... Yeah, I wanted to break all these rail things so we can set this rail up without worrying about trains turning up and delivering the wrong thing. Okay, composites are not something I need. Iron is not something I need. Let's find a red ship station. I should be able to find red ships by the purple science, right? Yeah, here's a red ship station. Let's also get fuel requests here, I guess. Fuel requests are things that are nice. It will also help that turnover. Okay, so we've got a crystals request, we've got a red science request, we've got Bojangles, which is not requesting anything. Engines is a thing we need to request. Engines I should be able to get from the yellow science, which is... Is it this one? Oh, this is another build that I could expand all of these things, except I'm pretty sure I'm input blocked on neodymium. I'm pretty sure this line of stuff here... Yeah, these guys aren't running. Which means... we just smash that in there. These guys have actually also got space around them to just drop some of these in here. This was not necessarily the plan, but we're just going to run with it. And so now we should get more drone frames out for the same amount of neodymium we're throwing in, and we should get more speed boost out. That's all kind of cool. We're just going to take that. And then, what did I want? Engines was the thing I was after, which is this station here. I wonder if those power poles are in the right way. This is... Oh, okay, fine. Is this going to be... No, wait. It's fine. I can use the station down here, because that does have those things in the right place. Okay, so we're requesting engines. This is checking engines, which is fine. All of this stuff is getting built. This is... Crystals request is a thing that we want, so that can be connected up. Red science is a thing that's connected up, so those are things we also want. Then this needs to be a sulfur request. Do I even have a sulfur request yet? I'm not even sure that I have a sulfur request. Okay, I guess we just do that ourselves then. So this is going to be sulfur and sulfur. That also means that I don't have a train delivering the sulfur, which is also going to be a thing. So we have no trains with me, because that's kind of not what we were doing at the moment. But I think this means that... Yeah, bots are complaining about not having a lot of different things. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this spaghetti here to do later, rather than now. And I might see if I could get a pattern that I like with it, because we've got to find some other build trains. Where is this? So that's not a build train. Oh hey, remember when we had this spider? Copy a thing that we then didn't actually paste anywhere, and now we can't have one of them. Oh well. Where is... Yeah, this train here. Because bots need a number of things. Stack inserters... Okay, so prod mod 3s it's going to take regardless. Stack inserters and fast inserters is also going to take regardless. Give me all of these, and you can have more of those because you're doing stuff with them. And then you also wanted beacon 3s, which is pretty exciting, getting into the beacon 3 stuff. Where are the beacon... Oh, the beacon 3s are down here, aren't they? This is just not currently organized in any way. Yeah, have another 2 stacks of beacon 3s. You will enjoy... Not there, here. Have some beacon 3s, and then I want... Smelting stuff. Do I have smelting stuffs in a box anywhere? Here we go. Metal casters, arc furnaces, purifiers, all of those things. Are they what you need? And then also undergrounds. Okay. I guess, yeah, because we did give you mining stuff to do as well, didn't we? So you can have all of those, you can have a bunch of metal casters, you can have a bunch of purifiers, you can have a bunch of arc furnaces, and that should get you... I mean, did we also see... Is this... Yeah, so the water automation has turned up and done that thing correctly, and then all these guys are powered, and this is also some more spaghetti that we need to pile in at some point. But I think that... Oh, and cliff explosives. I wonder if that's that grid asking for cliff explosives. If it is, just have some cliff explosives as well, and go to the East Depot. And I'm not actually convinced that that was everything that part of the grid needed. We just kind of threw it in there. The roboports are a different direction. Oh, it needed regular beacons. This blueprint here has... Yeah, it has 18 regular beacons in it. Okay, so we needed to kind of give it beacons. Bit of a shame. So this... Yeah, this mining smelting setup needs to request like another 30 standard beacons as well. And now I don't have metal casters. Why don't I have metal casters? Am I not somewhere automating metal casters? Automating cliff explosives. Why are you over there like a strange thing? You should just have... Yeah, okay, that's why you're over there like a strange thing. Should I not have metal casters somewhere? Where am I automating arc furnaces? Compound material facilities, oil processing. Where are my purifiers and... Have I not actually automated purifiers and metal casters? Are these all things that I've just been pulling out of storage that I built elsewhere? Okay. That is a thing we can handle. Here are 4 things, and we want, from the pretty basic stage, metal casters, and electric energy injectors, arc furnaces, and purifiers was the other one that I was thinking I might need. That's kind of the set of things that I think... Purifier. I think I've already automated somewhere. Metal caster. Arc furnace. Purifier. Okay, sure. Yeah, just go and do that. You know, whatever. Just make more. If I have these things automated in several places, it's fine. Okay, let's try and do the thing with the build spider that we forgot to do previously when we last did the thing. I guess the thing is, we now have to wait for this build spider to get over here before we go and do... Before we get distracted by multitasking anything else. I guess at this point... Is this build train done? Yeah, it's disgorged all this stuff. So you can come back to this thing, because we now need to give you regular beacons, and also a lot more prod mods. I guess this blue science build probably would take a lot of prod mods, wouldn't it? Let's also have a radar if we can. Let's put it here. Because getting a line of sight on that... Actually, that's silly. We're not going to put it there. We're going to put it... That's a much better place. Okay. Yeah, I think the... Whereas I'm in the wrong place. I was expecting to see the build train turn up, and it kind of did. And I was in the wrong place. Okay. Let's give you some more of these. Let's get you these beacons. What did you need? You needed these things. You needed a decent number of those. I picked up train stations to give you train stations. And then you also needed a bunch of prod mods. Maybe also some radars. I should probably get radars myself. Are any of these... All of the... Yeah, so you can, in fact, now just go back to the East Depot and get all that stuff done. And that should... Module... Actually, can I, at this speed, see the speed of these buildings? 2.35. So I've got, what, 10. This is, yeah, that is more, this is more blue science than I wanted for the intermediate, like 300 science per minute, but this is not going to be enough blue science for the 800 blue science per minute that we wanted. So I guess we deal with that later. All of that spaghetti can kind of do a thing at some point later. Most of these bots are probably pretty happy now. Yeah, I think the last thing that we wanted to do, because we are kind of getting close to episode length, is somewhere, yeah, here are these grenades. Give me these back as well. I've now got a lot of stuff just kind of sitting around. I don't think I'm going to need any of that stuff. Yeah, you guys can just have all of those. K2 beacons. Why would I do anything with K2 beacons at this point? Yeah, because over here, we had a bunch of spiders. And I think the last thing we're going to do, partly to see whether or not this is just the same, like whether this is still a manifestation of some weird thing with my computer, or whether or not it is in fact struggling with stuff, is we're going to go do some more combat. We've got, yeah, we're going to be running down the blue sides a little bit. These ones are, this one is misplaced. That's going to annoy me. Let's put it here, and then let's also put this one here, so that all these things are the same distance apart. That is a thing about beacons that I like. And actually, can we see, in the last hour, can we look at the sciences? Okay, space science, probably a bad example. Actually, I didn't even want to be looking at production. I wanted to be looking at consumption. I wanted to see whether or not in the last hour... Okay, so so here's our base rate where we were doing stuff. Here's a bit of a drop when we were swapping out the beacons, and we have gone up to slightly higher. This is actually still not the 250 per minute I was expecting. We are actually a little bit limited on lab speed at the moment, but I think that's kind of fine because we're still making this stuff, and it also means, yeah, we're launching these rockets a bunch as well. So we probably did in some way solve the LDS problem, I guess, and that also should mean that we have, yeah, so we definitely have enough structured material over here that we can now just go and build a pair of tier 3 beacon cores. So that's pretty cool. But the thing we're going to do is, which one of these is the spider? Yeah. We're going to go and do some of the stuff again. I've got, I've only got 7 nukes. Maybe I go back. Yeah, we'll just wander out here. We'll go say hi to these guys. I want to see what happens to the UPS, and also, given that we've kind of got giant grid in one direction, let's also go and see if we can set up some giant grid in another direction, because we're pretty much fine for, you know, yeah, all of that's pretty good. Bots are still waiting for things. All those they needed, yeah, so there's still things that we need to give bots to complete the builds, but... Oh, I've also realized that I don't have... I'm also on the wrong thing. Cool. We kind of want these guys running past the other spiders, so... Oh, and also I've got these grenades. I keep forgetting I have these grenades. And, yeah, so we are having the same kind of UPS things, aren't we? Did I get the second one off? Yeah, so this is still not a great UPS time. I remembered that I've got all these things that I don't need, and all these things I don't need, and we should have those in. And you guys shouldn't stand still and just get shot at. We should actually go and deal with all of this. So yeah, this is a nice peaceful little stroll. We might, yeah. I might go have a little explore in between episodes with these as well. There's quite a lot of, yeah, there's a bit of boring spaghetti to do between episodes. There's some trains to set up, because I don't think we have a sulfur train yet. We'll run this out to the west a bit, just to see if we can also get like a nice clean territorial, like, basically big piece of ocean. This is fine. Can we just run these guys straight through the middle? I don't think I've lost a Spidertron this run yet, but we could. Oh yeah, my bots are off, which is correct. So yeah, I might have to go back to get some, to basically reload, although I don't really need to do that either at this point. We're kind of just chewing through stuff, and stuff is mostly good. We got a lot of lasers, we got some amount of stuff. Yeah, and then I think the other thing I want to do is make sure that we do get the blue science running before we run out of the current blue science cache, because we have taken away a lot of the blue science beacons in a way that's a little bit bad. Drop one there for me, will you? Yeah, that got away. Sure. So yeah, this is a nice little walk. I think. Oh yeah, that's right. I was gonna check what Evo was now. 0.93. So we are definitely on Beth Moths, and I have seen some Beth Moths spout, so that's pretty nice. That spider's also kind of injured. So I'd better. Yeah, let's have some repairs happening. Is this also... Yeah, so this old space is also kind of mine now. Yeah, sure. So we've got some amount of stuff done. Yeah, this guy's still repairing. Okay, let's go back and look at one of these LDS nodes as a kind of final thing and see... Oh, no, LDS is unhappy because of steel, which is not completely surprising, because we haven't really boosted steel in a while. But yeah, we've still got module upgrades which we're doing, which is fine. This LDS is also, I mean, it's probably just running down at steel, because this is quite a large amount of steel for the amount of LDS we're getting out of these things. So that's probably fine. Let's find a plastic node. Where's the one with the... That's not the thing in the corner I'm looking for. The thing... Yeah, this one in the corner that I'm looking for. And... Yeah, so we are now good for plastic, I think. Because these trains are sitting around filled with plastic, waiting to take plastic somewhere. Do I have... I've got 2 plastic trains, yeah. So I think I might also need just more copper trains, and then this train also needs to be swapped out and get a thing done differently. Yeah, beacon counts, I can... I've only got 4 beacons, okay, can't do this beaconing somewhere else, but that's okay. Yeah, got a bunch of stuff done, seems pretty stable. Does feel like I'm moving into... Let's keep multitasking while I'm finishing the episode closing rant. It does feel like I'm kind of moving through the next of these milestones. Like, I was trying to figure out what milestones I had for just kind of like personal, like what I considered my progress through some plan that I would have. And I think I concluded that... Oh, this is quite a large space, isn't it? That was not very well placed. I think I concluded that... Yeah, like the old plan was major milestone 1 was bots and a rail grid, all of which were super important. Rail grid, you know, nice and useful, and we got that done. That was pretty good. Major milestone 2, I think, ended up being... I've still got my bots on. I hope I didn't lose any bots. Maybe. Yeah. Ended up being purple science, yellow science, infinite stone, and nuclear power. That went pretty well as well. And they were also, at this point, still kind of vague, because we're getting away from the early game of, hey, I've done this a couple of times, into this kind of, I don't even know what this weird mod stuff is that we're doing, but that's fine. And I was trying to figure out what major milestone 3 would be, if there was going to be anything that would get called that. And I think this is what these grenades are for. They're pretty good. I think, yeah, definitely with this whole, hey, here's a new grid, hey, we've got fusion power, hey, we've got some exotic science stuff happening as well, we've got multiple rocket launches happening, where, yeah, we've got tier 2 bots. I think, retroactively, I think it's now struck me that this position here is having just completed major milestone 3, and we're kind of in maybe the beginning of the end game. I think, yeah, I think Star Engine is, I think I've said this a couple of times, Star Engine seems like it's like the first major research check heading into the end game of the 248K mod, maybe. That's kind of my vague impression of it. So these guys are going to have a bad time. We're going to keep moving over here. And yeah, so I think we just set up for doing more stuff on a rail grid. I still have munitions. I thought okay, maybe there was someone already in the spider. Whatever. Yeah, so I think we're just going to, we are now going to be mega basing things more. Even more than we previously were, because the Star Engine is a big research check. This Star Engine, oh, we've got another, okay. In that case, all of my rambling about, hey, let's continue to do a kind of monologue rant thing, while, or rather, like, let's just keep pushing while we do this monologue rant thing. That's probably all the pushing we're going to do, if, depending on what happens at the top of this, and whether or not that means we've now got kind of an entire continental section to ourselves. Depending on, yeah, okay, so yeah. We've now got, yeah, we have territory that is now completely safe from expansion. I wonder how far. Can we even see anything? Let's go this way. Yeah, okay. So, this even looks like we've also secured the ribbon. So I'm pretty happy calling that major milestone 3. We're transitioning to larger rail grids. We have complete military dominance. Maybe I even want to go further than that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide how I feel about it. Yeah. Yeah, now we just go and build rail grid stuff. Bigger rail grid stuff. We get Star Engine. There's another 3 or 4. None of these are queued up yet. Let's queue them up. Why? Yeah, there we go. That's how research queue works. There's a bunch of other text that we just work through, and then eventually we get to exotic matter stage, which sounds pretty exciting, and we should be doing that. And that's kind of the next. Yeah, that's where we're gonna go. Sometime later. Yeah, good times. Turn the pots back on, repair all the dudes. It's good.